Okay, I'm doing this one a little separate from the last one. The first one I did, as you can see, I was showing people how to do the gable, and I showed the basic rectangle and gave an idea on this U shape here, so you can see how things actually look. On this one, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to do the hip roof here. And once again, excuse me, the hip and or the rectangle and the square are basically the same. So I'm just going to do a little bit of each. Please remember that all I did was bring in the front view of what I could. And I just have this shell of the outside. I don't have any of the details there because that would be a waste of my time. All right, first thing I need you to do, put yourself in the 0 layer. I'd like you to go to the Insert tab, Insert button. We are going to browse, and you're going to go to the W drive, Drafting 1 Arc project, and we're going to come down to roof information. Now, this information, please make sure it's exploded. Okay. I'm going to put it way over here. I hope it'll be plenty of space. There we go. This roof information here, this was before the videos were done. I gave kind of step-by-step and direction, so if you get stuck on something, you can always look through here too. But let's just take a look at this here. I gave you all the dimensions as far as the rise and run, 412, 512, 612, 712, that kind of information. Now, you can choose the area, the one you want. In our area here in Port St. John, Florida, it really is, 512 is very, very common. So what you have to do is decide how steep a roof line do you want. So this is what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and copy out this 512. And I'm going to take the whole thing because I want you to realize what direction things are. And I'm going to come over here and put it on this rectangle in this area here. Okay? Now, once I get that done, the next thing I want to do is I need to mirror this because I need the angle in this way and I need the angle the other way. Okay? So I'm going to take mirror, and I'm only going to take the one line that's slanted. Make sure your ortho's on. Some of you guys are not keeping ortho on, and you're finding out very quickly you're having to redo a lot of things. Okay, so here is what we have so far. Now, in order to do our work, now, of course, you don't do this until you have your elevations checked because nothing's going to be more horrible than if you start that and I make you go back and fix it all. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these red lines. I'm also going to get rid of these ones at this point, or you can freeze them off. I don't really care which, okay? But these should be checked, and your windows should look great, and same with your doors. The next thing I would suggest you're going to do, I don't care if you're doing the red line, I don't care if you do it in the purple line, the roof line, I should say, but you need to take and bring down perfectly straight lines from the edges of the roof, and now you also need to bring down from any of the peaks. That would be a peak. That would be tall. And this one here. Okay? So we have that. So basically our roof's going up. What we're going to do next, put myself in the roof layer, is I'm going to, on this one I'm just going to copy. I'm going to take this, go from the end point to the end point of that roof. I'm going to copy this one, end point of the roof. Okay? Now, that's our start. That'll show us our slope. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to offset 6 inches. I'm going to offset up 6 inches for the simple fact that your roof is not made out of just a sheet of paper. You've got your trusses, you've got your wood, you've got your tar paper or your membrane, whatever you want to call it that's going over top. Then you have your shingles, or you have your metal, or you'd have your barrel tiles, whatever you have on your roof. So that's representing that thickness, okay? So we offset it up 6. The next thing I need you to do is we're going to go and extend. We are going to extend both of these purple roof lines out to the red, and both of these purple out to the red. And we're also going to do here and here. Very simple. Now, the next thing, we are going to take a line, a roof line that's going to go across the top. We really don't need to do the next one because we're not going to see it. And at this point, I'm going to take the bottom line and the bottom line, and I'm going to put it on my red layer. Because With this hip roof, this is up in your attic. You're not going to see this line as you would with your gable roof. So you're not going to see this here. So may as well put it in the red already. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to do your little edge piece. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and erase these, or we can actually put them on the red line if we wanted to. It's not that big of a deal. I need those out of my way. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to attach my line and make sure my ortho is on. Okay? I'm dragging it straight down. I'm typing in 2 for 2 inches and I hit enter. I come over 2 and hit enter. And I come down and I just cross over that edge. That's all I'm looking for. Okay? At this point, I can trim this up and I'm done with that. Now, once again, I need to do that over here. I can do the same thing, or I can do this. I can mirror and I can take these 2 items and I can use from the midpoint here and come down and not deleting it. See this over here? This is fine too. And I'm going to go ahead and just trim this up here. Now, the next thing is very simple. I need to just draw a line from bottom corner to bottom corner. Bottom corner to bottom corner. And I'm going to do the same again with the one across the top. Now, believe it or not, that's pretty much done. It's finished. We just have to clean some areas. Please, when you get to this point, please call me over and have me double check and check your work. Please, it's very, very important. Okay, so that's what that roof looks like. And I will show you what you have to do with this trimming out. Now, because I've told you before many, many times, I am the lazy one and I am tired of, I try to make things as quick and easy. I can do a couple of things. I could come back here and do the same thing here. But see on this one here, and let me go draw these lines down for you to see it. If I go from edge, center line, that's center edge, and get rid of that one so it doesn't confuse you, and this one, and I do this one here, I have where my roof goes. Now, watch this. For being not wanting to have to do a lot extra, I can copy, and I'm going to copy all of those purple lines here, and I'm going to take the edge of my wall right here, and I'll explain why for that in a minute. I'm just going to move this out of the way, just like that, okay? Now, I'm going to rotate this whole thing this way, and make sure your ortho's on. Now, I'm going to select everything except that white line. I don't want the white line, but I'm going to use it as my base point. Here to here. See how this is sitting perfect now? So I have that. And no, it doesn't always work out where this touches exactly. Not at all. So now I can go here and I can mirror. And I'm going to select all of these pieces and my 2 lines here. And at this point, I can take it from the tip top. And if these did not touch this red line, then please use the extend. That's only common sense. And then all I have to do here is trim up these guys, like so. And basically, check that out. That roof's actually done. It was that simple. So I'm going to delete these lines here. And once again, please have me check before you're deleting out all these lines. Now, let's do a finish up so you can see exactly what this would look like. Let's go in here and I'm going to put myself in the roof layer and I'm going to freeze off these red lines. Now, when you get to this point, what you're going to do is that would be put on the red layer, okay, just in case you need it back. And you're going to need to trim. Instead of hitting my space bar, I'm picking the bottom. I'm getting rid of that and that. Now look up here. I need to get rid of here and here. And I'm going to put this on the red layer because just in case we need it. So there's my whole entire roof for that one. Now, this is the best part. You can go in and draw a line from the midpoint of the bottom of this house, and that only works if that's one entire line. And let's go from the midpoint of this bottom house here. Okay, now I'm going to select mirror, and I'm selecting my entire roof. Don't forget these little end pieces. Now when it asks me for my base point, I'm not coming in the middle of this line here. I'm just touching this line. See where I'm touching? And look where the midpoint's actually snapping. It's not in the middle there. If I did something like this, my roof's going to be way off here. But this line here is from the bottom to the bottom, so the middle of the line will be truly the middle of the line. So let me go ahead and touch. We did that again because I activated all these different snaps. There. And now I'm just touching it. See the midpoint? And I bring it across. And check out this. There you go. See how it's sitting? If we had the red lines on, you would see exactly where it'd be. So we can check on that. If you want to leave those red lines on, that may be helpful. Once again, before you start deleting things, please let me see what you got going on. Okay? So let's trim up. And I'm going to pick this line. And I'm going to pick here. So there's my roof there. Now, over on this side, we can do the same exact thing. Let me get my trim. And let me trim this here. And I need to do the mirror. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to come all the way to the midpoint of the bottom. I'm going to mirror. Don't forget all the little pieces. I'm going to touch this here and see where it's going. It's taking the midpoint right kind of towards the middle there. That's fine. And it popped it over there. That gets deleted. And I can then trim here. So that's basically it. That's our gable. I mean our hip. I'm sorry about that. That's our hip. How easy is that? Now, the square is exactly the same. When it comes to these L's, T's, and U's, let me show you the U shape down here. And so this way you can get a better idea. Now, with this U shape here, I'm going to go ahead and draw my lines here. And believe it or not, you're going to get a ton of lines on this one. So please don't have a heart attack. You need to do all your peaks. I need this one. I need this one. I need edge. I need edge. I need this one. I need this one. And I need this one. Looks super confusing, doesn't it? It actually is not. This is how simple this is. Copy. Here, we're taking from the end point. We are going to put it on the end point of the house here. We're also going to put it on the end point of the house there because these are two separate roofs. We're going to copy this one. We're going to put it to the end here and the end here. Okay? Now, it kind of looks a little crazy with it, but let's start one at a time. Okay? Let's do this. Let's go ahead on this first one here and let's just trim this up so that it's not confusing you too much. We're going to have to re-extend things and we can trim this little guy back here too. But we are going to have to extend, but I'd rather you not get too flustered when you see it. Offset 6 and enter. Pick it, go above, pick it, go above. Pick it, go above, pick it, go above. Okay? Now, we are going to do an extend. We're extending both of these to there. We're extending both of these to there. There we go. We're extending this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Okay? Now, with that being said, do you see the edge right here? It lines up perfect. So I'm going to delete this so you can see it. And I'm going to go in here once again with my line. I'm going to go 2, 2, and cross over. And I'm going to trim. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to copy it because I don't want to have to worry about it. And I'm going to copy it over to here. All right, so now I've got that, and I need to delete this line because this gave me my edge. I'm perfectly fine with that edge. All right, so all I need to do on this one is trim to here, and I'm going to need to do the same thing on this one, see, because this is the edge of my roof right here. So I got the two inside edges done first, so this is fine. So I'm going to come to this one and delete this line because I want to be able to see it. And with this, I'm going to go down 2, in, 2, and cross. And trim this out also, here and here. I can copy all this, take it from the top, come on over here to this one, and delete this out. I just need to trim as such. Now, this is a part where you're going to have to look, okay? And when you're looking at this, do you see how this one here is the top, and you see how this comes up here to this line, but then it continues on up to this line. So what I'm going to do is first, you know what, I'm going to move this so you can see it just a little bit better. Please be very, very careful when you're moving things. Let me turn on these red lines so you can see. And I could actually get rid of these guys. And I can get rid of these guys at this point. Okay, I'm going to move these guys up so we're a little bit closer so you can see it better. Okay, so it's very, very simple. Okay, at this point, these guys here can go away. I just want you to have a clearer picture. All right, we've got this roof set up here. This is showing us this is where the top is here. Now remember, like I showed you on the other one, this bottom one, this bottom one, this bottom one, and this bottom one all belong on the red layer. Okay, so they're there, but they're not really there. Okay, so look at this. This line's coming up to here, which is here. Then it needs to come all the way to here because this carries on. This line and this line are running actually parallel. So we need to extend to this line here, this top one, just like that. Okay? Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to extend this one to there because that's where that point goes. Now, at this point, I can say this line is gone because I've already extended it. See how it's sitting right there? This line is now matched up to here. So now let's go do this one. We can extend and get both of these here, whoops, here and here, so we know where that goes. But now look at this one. This line and then this line, they're running parallel, this one and this one. So they have to come to this peak. So let's take that one all the way to there. Now this one here we don't need any longer, so we can delete. Next thing, if we've done this correctly, we're going to be taking from here and we're coming straight across to here. They should match up perfectly, which they do. Okay, last simple easy step, line from the bottom all the way to the bottom. And you'll see that it picks it up all the way across. One more time, all the way across. And one last time, all the way across. Now, kind of looks confusing, but watch. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. And I would freeze off the red lines because I need to see those to have you, call me and say, hey, please check this. But freeze off those red lines so I can turn them on to do some double checking. Because I need to make sure they're all lining up exactly right. So now I've cleaned that all out. I can actually get rid of here and here and anything above it. So that's what that looks like. So that's that one there. Okay, so if you're doing this one here, you're going to have one of these on it, and then you're going to have the larger ones just like over here is going to match up. If you're doing the sides, you're just following these lines all the way down. What I think I will do is I will just do this one more side here for you, and then hopefully you'll understand and I should not have to do too much more. Oh, very quickly, for this back one, it's simple. We can mirror again. Draw a line from the midpoint at the bottom to the midpoint at the bottom. But look at the back right here. It's only just the flat edge. So when I go to mirror, I want to take this, this, this. I want to take these little edges and these lines here, and I want to take these edges. I don't want to take the middle stuff because you don't see it back there. Right click. I'm going to touch this line so it goes to the midpoint. Wherever my midpoint is, I'm touching that line. And my roof's done. It's already set up here. I just have to do the trimming. Okay? So hopefully, at this point, call me and then you can trim yourself silly and you'll be all good to go. This side view, it's very, very simple. I'm going to do this first roof here, then I'm going to do my second roof after, because you still see part of that roof. So you need to bring down each of these lines again. And it's very, very simple. And I tell you what, I'm going to be on the lazy side again. I am going to copy this edge. I am going to copy this line. And I'm going to move it across. Put it way out here so it's not in my way. And I am going to rotate. And have that ortho on, please. Now I'm going to move. I'm going to select everything except that white line. I'm going to use that white line as my endpoint. And my endpoint's right there. So this is set. Now check this out. I've got this one and it should be touching here. If you're not sure if it's touching or not, do an extend and see if it goes. See, it's touching perfect. I should not have a problem with that. So I have that one going there. The next thing I can do is, you see where this one's coming down here? I can then go ahead and mirror this line from here, bringing it straight down. But this line goes from here to here, so it needs to stop there. So I'm going to trim and take this one and get rid of this one. Now, this line's correct, this line's correct. See where we matched up? So I can get rid of these two lines. Once again, have me check your work if you're not sure. Now, if this is correct, see this is a perfectly straight line right here. We should have a perfectly straight line to there. You can draw it, or to make sure you know what you're doing, you can copy it to there. So now that lines up, and that can go away. This next piece over here is as simple as this. We can mirror, and I can take this. Oops, didn't want to take that off. I can mirror taking those edges and this. And do you know what? We're going to have a problem with that because it's going to throw it way over to this side here. So what I can do is a couple little things. I can come in here and I can just mirror this out, which I think I will, or I can be really lazy and just copy it from here, which I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm taking the end and this, and I'm stealing that leg again. And I'm going to rotate that way. Make sure ortho's on, please. I'm now going to move just the roof part from the end point. I'm going to put it on this end point right there. Okay? So that should meet up perfect with that, which it does. So I need to trim that out. I can get rid of this. So now I have this section. And then my very last thing I have to do is this back one here. So I'm going to delete this because that's exactly where it needs to be. You can see I got the little lines there. Now I got to do this back section again. So now let's bring these lines down. I have this coming here. I have this coming here. I have this peak coming here. And of course, this peak is this peak. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go copy. I'm going to take this slanted line and those little guys. go from the end point here, because that's the edge of the wall there, to the new edge of the wall here. Check it out. That's there. If I delete this and trim this, there's my corner. Now, where does this corner have to go to? This corner has to go up here. So I'm going to extend and bring this up. And if I've done this completely right, I should be able to take a line from here to here, which would be this line. I could actually copy that line. So I can delete this. Now, once again, let's do this trim. I'm going to hit this bottom line and trim away that top area. Delete my red line. So I'd have to delete out this little guy here too. And once again, I would copy this over to this side. The only thing I wouldn't copy is the under roof. And the reason I wouldn't copy or mirror, I said under roof, is you're not going to see it from here. So if you want to do that real quick, I'm going to go midpoint to midpoint, mirror. I'm going to select all of this because I'm going to see that. I'm going to see that, that, and these little guys down here. You know, if you happen to copy these over or mirror those over, it's not a big deal. It's called erase. So I'm going to pick the midpoint and come down. And then when I'm over here, it matched. I get rid of these. And I just have to trim up this and this little guy's in here. I'm going to erase those other pieces. Okay? So, whoops. Go back and shift and put that one back. Actually, I'll just go ahead and redraw it in. So, it's not that big of a deal. If I hit undo, all my trimming would have been gone. So, here I go with this. Take it. And bring it to there. And the last thing I have to trim is this little guy here. Okay, so there you go with all that. I know this is a long video, and I know it seems hard, but it really is not. Once you get one, it does the other work for you. And somehow I erased part of my line. How silly was that? That's okay. It's bad. So these other, the T's and the L's, you just have to look at this and see what it is. It's pretty simple. Just remember, like, this shape here is going to be half of the U. You're going to have this and you're going to have this. So you're not going to have the extra line in the front. No big deal. The T is going to be just like one of these small ones with this big roof behind it. So you have to use some common sense, and hopefully that'll get you set. So I'd like to see everyone get this done as quickly as possible. And if you forgot some things, you can see I gave dimensions here. So hopefully we're good. All right.